Hello, good morning, everybody. I hope you are having a good morning. We are on the second day to the last of the week. So today's analysis will start off with the SP500. What I have to mention is that I like keeping my lines. That is, if I draw a line like this, if I find this as a good resistance, I will leave that line like that, and then I'll draw the next one anytime I need to change anything. So I'll not remove this. This is the first thing which we are seeing. We have a very good trend at the top. We have another very good trend and from the bottom, and we expect price to go up to this resistance, the one at the top, this one. So we expect price to get from this point up to this resistance here. But then you can see this is a weekly chart. So what do we expect to happen on the daily? I'll pull that chart up afresh. We want to leave that on the weekly the same way, then we'll move straight to daily. On the daily, we have this. This is a very good trending resistance here. Look at how perfect this was. Resistance, then price continued down. It came back as a resistance, continued down. Currently, as we're speaking, the price is around the same place which it was using as a resistance. So ideally, this should be the correct place to sell from. This trend line should be the correct place to look for a sell from. As long as the price comes back to it but does not clearly ascend above it, a resistance, we have this resistance, and then you also have this as a resistance. This should give us the correct place to sell from. If price can come back up to that level but does not clearly break above, or if it gives us a sell signal here, we'll pick that sell up to this another trend line from the bottom, which is here. So just look at how good this was. A very good shape, a resistance and a support along these two trend line. Have that support, have that as support, and then we have that as a support. So we basically just want price to come back that level, then we'll take a buy from that point. Ultimately, this is what should happen. So if price does not bounce off from the upper trend and instead it continues to the upper side, then we'll just wait for retracement before you can continue buying it, expecting it to go even further. This according to the daily. On the daily chart, we expect something like this. On the weekly, we expect something like this. So the next closer time frame is actually 4 hours. This is what we have for 4 hours. Of course, the same thing should apply to the one on the daily. So because the two are almost the same, we have that trend line, then we have the other one from the bottom, which is there. So ideally, price needs to come back to that trend line, should not break above before we pick a sell up to the trend line at the bottom. So a move like this, a move to the upper side, and then a rally to the lower side before we continue buying it even higher. So we'll be waiting for a sell there and a buy from the bottom, something like this. So we are going to move forward and move to the next chart, Brent oil. Brent oil, this is what we still have, and I'm not going to talk about this much because the same chart is giving us the same thing. We actually expect a buy on this one. If the weekly chart is giving you a clear trend, it is wise to hold on to that weekly perspective. So we are only waiting for Brent oil to give us the correct place to buy from. That's the only thing. If it can give us the correct place to buy from, we'll pick that buy, hold on to that buy. We expect price to move upwards after from that support. So what I'm saying is around this level, if price does not go below this zone here, we expect it to proceed even higher up to the upper trend line. This is what should happen. The price should continue up, break above, trace back, we'll pick a buy, expecting that buy to go up to the next level, 72.38. And if price breaks below, we wait for retracement, then we pick a sell up to 45.60, which is here. So we're going to move forward. We'll move forward to the next chart. and that should be gold. This is what we are looking at on gold. Gold is very, very clear on the daily. So I don't want to add much on this one because I just expect price to go back above, retrace back, then we'll pick a buy from that point up to the top. So I mentioned some few days ago that whatever this lines means here, they only show that we are still somehow continuing to the upper side. So if you find me drawing shapes on a chart, shapes actually means we are either reversing immediately or we are continuing immediately. So if you have this, either the price should break above, retrace back, then we pick a buy from that point up to 1552.16, or it should break below the lower trend line, retrace back, then we'll be able to pick a sell. We expect that sell to proceed even further to the lower side. So we'll move forward to the next symbol, and that should be Euro USD. I'll start off with the daily. Euro USD has just gone up to the exact same place where we should be selling from. Just look at this, a very good resistance, and then we have this one. The entire place, which is this, is actually a very good place to sell from. So the fact that price has gone up to this level does not mean that you're supposed to look for a sell. You're supposed to look for a buy. This could just be a retracement. Actually, if you check the monthly chart, this is just but a retracement, whatever is happening now. So this move should end around this zone there, where we should be able to pick a sell up to this support. So if you are looking at this chart, you should be looking for a sell. You expect that sell to take price up to around 1.0899. So a support, we had this, a very good support there. Also had this as a support, and then we had this as a resistance, and where the price is now, this should be another very good resistance, a good place to sell from. If you can sell it there, expect price to go up to the place that I've mentioned. So we're going to move forward. We move forward to the next chart, and that should be GBP USD. GBP USD has gone above a very good level, 1.2729. This is a very significant resistance. If price closes above this level, this would mean that we are continuing upwards up to 1.3307. This one. So on this side, I recommend we wait temporarily. Let's wait and see how the current week closes. If the current week closes above where the price is above this resistance, this one, 1.2729, then we should expect it to proceed even higher. So if you are looking at this chart, you better be looking for buy positions. If the price close above that level, keep looking for buy orders. Expect those buys to push price even higher. So we'll move forward. We'll move to the last symbol, USD/JPY. USD/JPY is around a very good weekly resistance. This is the resistance which I'm saying, this one here. This is a very, very good weekly resistance. So if price continues to be held above, with below 108.51, we expect a sell. So if the current week scan, which is this one, manages to close below 108.51, then we should expect a sell up to 104.79. The idea is not to sell it now. Wait for clear sell signals. If price shows you a sell signal in the 1 hour, then just know that we are possibly going to close below 108.51. That's the thing. If price closes above 108.51 by the end of this week, then we should expect it to continue even higher. But if it closes below that level, then expect a pullback to the lower side. Expect price to proceed downwards, and we should go up to 104.79. On the daily, we actually have a zone here. And notice the price actually closed above that zone. It closed above a very significant level here, this one. No, it didn't close above. We are still just within it. So that means we are still possibly sellers. Yeah. This candle here, the one which you saw yesterday, this is a possible continuation candle. Inside bar above a key level means that the price is proceeding to that direction. So although we are expecting a sell on the weekly, you should expect some sell, a buy. This formation here, inside bar, a break above a resistance. This is the resistance here. There's a break above. The next candle is an inside candle. What that means is possibly we are still continuing to the upper side. So expect some moves to the upper side even today. We have a sell on the weekly, but daily there are chances we may see buyers. So we don't want to leave buying just because we're holding on to one time frame. If there's a good buy, you better pick it, and even better if that buy can take price up to above 108.28. If price can push itself up to above this level, you should expect it to proceed to the top, which is here 113.86. So thank you very much. That should bring us to the end of today's market overview. We meet again tomorrow at the same time. Bye.